All right, so I met up with my buddy Dolfo from the Air Force. We served together for a really long time, and we've stayed in touch as really good friends. And to start off the game hunting trip, he took me to this fantastic Korean. It was a store, but as you make your way to the back, they actually had a small hidden restaurant. It was amazing. If you know me, if you follow my channel or you follow me on Facebook, you know I'm a big food guy. And so this had Hawaiian food and Korean food, and it was just absolutely amazing. And the fact that it was hidden in the back of this convenience store that you wouldn't even know there was a restaurant, unbelievable. I, of course, got the bulgogi because I'm a big bulgogi fan. As you can see there, it's simmering and delicious, and it was a great way to start off some game hunting. And yeah, I was just, super excited. Afterwards, we headed over to this store called Vintage Stock. There were 2 locations in this area, and we went to this first one on the first night I was in town. And it was pretty good. It actually is basically what we call in Texas Entertain Mart. But as you can see, the games and merchandise was like almost to the ceiling. It was just so much stuff in this one location. Not a lot of Switch games. There's a small section. I tried to cover as much as I could, but not, overdo it in these videos. A lot of these usually just get fast forward through anyways, which is fine. I get it. But yeah, there was a lot of merchandise. I tend to try and focus on the games and toys mostly, but this one and the other location also carried a huge selection of music and books and movies as well. Or some PS3 and some Xbox 360. Yeah, they had a lot of stock, so it was split up kind of weird between the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, Xbox 360. And just, you could tell they had overflow, so they just created new areas. I've been mostly on the hunt for a lot of retro games, as far as like Game Boy and even Atari Lynx carts, which I actually found some in this one store. But also I like to look out for some old Wii titles that I may have missed out on or didn't know about, and I did find an interesting one in this store. I do try and find Wii U, but I feel like I've got all the Wii U titles that are probably out there that are worth getting. And stupidly, I'm still looking for GameCube titles, which is the worst time right now to be recollecting for GameCube. But I'm only collecting the ones, you've probably heard this before if you watch my channel. I'm just trying to get the ones that I know I'll play and that I need to have in my collection, so I'm not getting all of them. Good variety of controllers up front for the Switch. Some Wii U Pro controllers. Those are still pretty pricey these days. I bought a couple recently. I found some for $20. But yeah, man, Atari Lynx carts. Wow, man, I was always floored when I see those. Sega Game Gear is actually pretty big selection. And of course, Game Boy Advance. And I thought this store was pretty big, but you haven't seen anything until you see the other store we go to after this one. You remember these? These are all the Skylanders and Disney Infinity figures. There's a lot of those loose figures all throughout here. Tons and all the bases. It makes me sad sometimes to see these, because I mean, it was kind of what could have been. It was such an amazing I don't know, I really liked it. My kids and I really loved it. It was really cool to just put figures on and the way it interacted, and it was just a whole new way of gaming for us. And now it's sad to just see them as like these relics on these shelves. It's like, geez, man, time just goes by. It's such a blur. Some Sega Genesis and Nintendo. I think there was some Atari threw in there. Yeah, those are Atari. I'm sorry. There are some Nintendo carts around too. And then with most of these stores, obviously you're gonna get your Pokemon type cards and Yu-Gi-Oh and that kind of stuff up there. More PlayStation titles. I believe these are PlayStation 2. Oh yeah, dude, check out this Stay Puff. I'm not a Funko Pop guy. I think it's one of those things that I'm kind of glad I avoided, because I'd probably be extremely poor. It's just too many and so many good ones. I do have a handful here and there that go with whatever game or theme or whatever's on display in my game house. Some original PlayStation games. I mean, there was just so much in this store, and like I said, this was a smaller one that we went to out of the two. The Wii titles. I think we might pass the one I got. Yeah, it's in there, but I didn't get in on it. I'm gonna do a pickups vid on my channel. I like to do a live check-in with people on the channel on Saturdays. I'm gonna do one probably this Saturday and show off the few of the games that I did get. There's the NES game. Yeah, how about Battletoads? If you have $110. Some N64, not a lot. I'm not seeing a lot of N64 games lately when I've been going out. Just a handful. Super Nintendo. And then these are the Don't Steal Me Wii U games. And then steal those ones. No, I'm just kidding. Don't steal. And very small GameCube section right there. I think it was like 10 games. Nothing worth getting. It's 3DS and DS. I believe these were all just DS games. It's a lot though, man. There was just, I'm telling you, it's crazy that we're just scratching the surface before we went to the other store. And if I had to guess based on the carpet in here and the doors and everything and the way it's set up, I feel like this was an old Blockbuster Video back in the day, because the colors and the ceiling and everything. There's a little bit of blue and gold going on in there. But I could be wrong. If anyone's been to this vintage stock in Oklahoma City, let me know. Got my Turtle Fix. So many cool toys, man. It's just, I could have bought like most of the stuff in the store, but I gotta like hold back. He-Man, G.I. Joe. Check out this Storm Shadow, man. It was only $40, but I literally have nowhere to put it, so I passed. But man, it was awesome. And they had all the G.I. Joe. Those reaction figures were like basically, they were just all on clearance or just trying to get rid of them at this point. I've collected a few, but yeah, I don't know what these are. Boglins, but they gave me Mad Ball vibes from back in the day, if you guys remember those. And Garbage Pail Kids, I showed this I think on my last game hunt video, that Garbage Pail Kids are starting to resurface in toy and card form now, so it's crazy. And more superheroes, action figures. That's awesome. I've never seen that before. The Venom Deadpool. My son would love that. That caught my eye. I was wondering if I would want that Dark Knight figure or not. Lot of figures. It's just, man. Yeah, it was also interesting too. Both locations sold guitars. A lot of old toys in these display cases, like that Roger Rabbit. I think that one was around $40 or so. It was cool. It was cool to see a lot of these retro toys in there. And some not so retro, but you could tell they were like heavy hitters, so they kept them locked up. Some old Batmobiles and the Batwing. Man, I want that Judge Dredd figure so bad. It's from the Marvel Legends series. It's usually around $130, $150 for that figure. So I have not gotten it, and chances are I probably never will. So right, that takes us to the next vintage stock. This is the bigger location, and right away I just started going in on their display cases for Game Boy, Nintendo, Super Nintendo. They had their some Wii and Wii U up here in the case as well, but they also had a lot of loose Wii U here on the floor and in their GameCube games. Awesome to see the Saturn or the Sega CD, the long boxes. I never tire seeing long boxes from that, or 3DO. Even the PlayStation ones actually were pretty cool. So most of their games were right up front here. Pretty decent selection. The same N64, not so much. I think a lot of those were just mostly sports games. Pan over to the Switch and Wii games that were in display case and not in display here. A lot of Wii games, but nothing again that was on the list that I really needed or wanted. We just put out so many games, a lot of it just absolute shovelware. DS, 3DS games. PS1, PS2. I mean, I had to pan around at this point though, because I had only just started in here. Look how massive this store is. It's insane. I mean, they had everything: clothing, plushies. Here's more of the loose figures for like Skylanders and Disney Infinity again. This place was full of albums. There's a whole album section. It was just going on forever. We definitely spent more time in this store than the footage I actually got. There was no way I was gonna be able to. This video probably would have been like an hour long, and no one has time for that. So I tried to keep it under 20 minutes. So. There's my good friend Dolfo. So he's got a channel too. I'm gonna drop that in the comments. But he has a outdoor nature fishing channel that's pretty awesome. I think he's gonna maybe reboot it again at some point. I hope so. His channel though is Poncho Outdoors. Here we are in the music. A lot of cassette tapes, so if you're into cassette tapes, tons of albums. And I didn't spend time thumbing through all these, apologies, but I'm telling you, if you were looking for something, they definitely would have had it. I'm a big vinyl collector myself, and like to find some albums when I'm out. I didn't get any on this trip, but I do look for them. That was awesome. The entire cast of the animated series signed that, and a couple actors from these movies autographed on there. So if you wanted copies of that, I found that really awesome that they had that in display there to buy. Yeah, just a great store, man. Both of these were I picked these two because this is where I found the most stuff while we were out hunting. Did go to a couple other stores and didn't really see anything worth making anything video wise about it, so and here is every Funko Pop ever made. Not really, but man, I'm gonna show every single one of these. I think I just did, I did this in a previous video where I just kind of walked down the hall of Funko. Just so much. So if you're upset because you can't see a certain one, I'm willing to bet that if you wanted a certain one, it's in this aisle. So so much. And then these aisles were just random. Board games and toys and just random stuff. No rhyme or reason to what was in here, so it was kind of fun to hunt through all that. I like it better that way too, because then you're really kind of just looking through some stuff to see, if there's anything that, strikes your fancy. But yeah, that was it. That was both stores, both vintage stocks in Oklahoma City. Thanks for watching.